seems like there's something about this city where it's totally the norm to run a little late to things, and you can kind of get it. The humidity and Bourbon Street, I think, just make for that kind of culture. I'm Brian Bell. I run marketing products and alliances here at Ping. We have an amazing set of content today, and I wanted just to kick this track off for at least those of you that are here and give you a brief update on Ping before I hand over to Scott Tomlinson, who's going to talk about our Ping Access product and our approach to access security. It's a great topic, so I'm going to try to be brief so I don't take too much time away from Scott. But I do want to just take some time and talk about three things. Updates on things you may not know about what's happened to Ping in the last year in terms of our growth and investments and what we've done as a company. Secondly, talk about some of the announcements this week. Just make sure you're aware of them so you really are up to speed with those announcements. And then finally, I'm going to point out the other things you should not miss this week if you are a Ping customer. Let me just start there. How many of you are an existing Ping customer? All right, so the vast majority of you, which is what I'd expect. So please do tell your colleagues or other people you know here that are Ping customers to make sure they look at the agenda and check out the other tracks going on today. So let me begin and just speak for a couple minutes about what's happened in Ping in the last year. It has been a phenomenal year in Ping, and really the point here is that you guys are making an investment in a vendor that really is in solid shape right now. We've had a year of phenomenal growth, close to 50% growth in our top line bookings. We're going to hit $100 million in annual recurring revenue in the next few months, later in the summer, which is quite a feat for any technology company of our size. We've hired 135 people in the last year, many of which are in support, are in field operations, or in development, and we have a pretty long list of open headcount, so you're seeing a lot of growth in the company. We've reached a massive scale. You know, we have 1.3 billion identities that depend on our software. And on the cloud side, we have just seen phenomenal traction in our IDaaS capabilities. We've doubled the number of tenants. We've grown our users by 6x in the last 12 months. And then finally, I would point out, and this session is very relevant to this, our portfolio and our capabilities has really expanded in the last 12 months. We have seen about 25% of our bookings now is coming from capabilities beyond single sign-on, meaning secure access and multi-factor authentication, directory capabilities. And we have seen half of our business being sold around what we call external use cases for identity. So not employee identity, but customer and partner identity solutions. So it's really becoming a real interesting portfolio in that regard. We've added 20% enterprise customers to our family. These are not typically SMB customers. These are large global enterprises, the likes you see on the slide, Costco, Royal Bank of Scotland, Netflix. And as I mentioned, a lot of our customers are driving adoption of our product, and I suspect that's why a lot of you are here. You're beginning to look at other capabilities that we offer, such as what Scott is going to talk about here in a minute. Additionally, we've grown and expanded our presence globally. We have offices around the world. We've invested considerably in our cloud delivery capabilities. We now have data centers on multiple continents, including data centers in Germany now. We announced just a few months ago a data center in Australia to serve that local economy, and you should expect to see more of that as the markets require and as we scale more internationally. 3 announcements this week. I'm not going to go into these in detail, but I just want to make sure you saw these. You kind of heard bits and pieces in Andre's keynote and Patrick's keynote, and you'll hear more later. We announced enhancements to enterprise IDaaS, particularly around multi-factor authentication, co-branding capabilities, so you have a consistent, familiar experience in multi-factor authentication. We refreshed the Ping One Cloud user interface, and you can see demos of those at our booth. You can talk to any of the Ping pre-sales consultants that are here to learn more about those capabilities. Secondly, as you just heard Patrick, we're really excited about this investment we made in Swirlds and what we're doing around distributed session management. And you can learn more about that. There's a whole track around blockchain, and you can hear more, or blockchain-related sort of capabilities. You can hear more about that in those sessions. And then finally, today, we also announced an expansion of the Identity-Defined Security Alliance. How many of you have heard of this alliance? Just show of hands real quick. Okay. So, and there's a panel tomorrow afternoon or evening with members of the Alliance. You can hear more about it. We expanded with Optiv and Exabeam and Lieberman to add other technology vendors, security vendors that view identity as central to their approach to security. You can learn more about that tomorrow. The most powerful thing about it, though, is that it provides blueprints, implementation guidelines on how these technologies work together, particularly in global enterprises. A couple other things for this week. This is the agenda for today. Did you guys all get, actually I'll flip to the next slide. Did you all pick up one of these brochures here on the left side? Yep, you got it. Pick that up. Everything is in there. You can find all this content. Make sure you tell your colleagues to attend these sessions. And then finally, I would not be doing right if I didn't highlight the party that we have on Thursday night. Make sure you show up there. And one other thing to put on your calendars, we have not formally announced these yet, but I'm going to share these with you. We have Identify conferences. These are only for the Ping community, unlike CIS, which is an industry conference we host. Identify is a conference that we put on every year. We started just last year, and we're doing it again in the fall. These are the dates and the cities. Make sure you mark these on your calendar. It is really robust content for Ping customers, Ping users, and Ping partners. So put these on your calendar, and we'll promote them in various ways going forward.